Hey, friend Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, Mama better make some more of that moist cake. Mexican Cake is a 10.5% Imperial Stout from Westbrook Brewing Company in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. I had a vacation a couple weeks ago. I just got back actually last week, and I was down in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And while there wasn't really a whole lot available via bottle shops in Hilton Head, I was really interested in checking out some beers from Westbrook Brewing, which is down there. They seem like they are actually all over the place. And I was able to pick up a bottle that you see before me, Mexican Cake. So let's take a look at the label. We'll get it into a glass, but first I'd like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer and David Jeffries, for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe even just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy. We're just starting from $3. You can get early access to these videos, exclusive patron-only live streams, and a few other special perks available only to patrons. So let's take a look at this label, and we'll get this into a glass. I've had this sitting out for just a couple minutes, but we'll start at the top, and we'll kind of go through what it has on here. On the top, it says Product of the USA, Mexican Cake, and it has a picture of a little piece of cake. A chocolate cake has two kind of candy skulls and pistols pointing at each other. We got some chili peppers here, and it says Westbrook Brewing Company. This is a 650 milliliter bottle. It's 1 pint, 6 fluid ounces. Malt beverage with cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, cinnamon, and habanero peppers added. Oof. 10.5% alcohol by volume, Imperial Stout, brewed and bottled by Westbrook Brewing Company in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. On the side here, it says Mexican Cake. Way back in December 2011, we brewed our first anniversary beer, a serious Imperial Stout aged on cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, cinnamon sticks, and fresh habanero peppers. It was so delicious, we decided to bring it back once each year. Salud. Store cold. This was bottled on May 17th, 2021. You can find out more about them at westbrookbrewing.com. And then on the other side is the government warning. So I'm going to crack this. I'm going to use a stout glass if I can find one over here. Okay, well, maybe not a stout glass, but I got this kind of Belgian style tulip glass here. We're going to crack this and put a nose on it. Oof. Love seeing that vapor. That's like one of my favorite things about bottles still. Okay, let's put a nose on it here. It smells very chocolatey, very fudgy. Maybe getting a bit of a cinnamon kind of aroma out of it. Let's go ahead and pour it. Oh, very dark, like really dark, like almost tar-like coming out of the bottle. I'm gonna pour that up to the near the top. I was gonna say the tippy top, but I don't really want to pour it to the tippy top. It looks very thick coming out of the bottle. If we take a look here, we got about 2 fingers ahead. It's got a really dark coffee, like dark coffee colored head. There's a bit of a reddish hue to it. Like I said, about 1.5 fingers at this point. It's really thick, really dense. This whole beer just looked really dense. Pouring it looked dense. In the glass looked really dense. Let's go ahead and hold it up to the light here. That is dark. There is no seeing through it. Sometimes I comment that I can see like a reddish hue through the bottom of the bulb of these style glasses. Not today. Not today. This head is still hanging on like a champ. Take a look at that overhead. That has not budged. I think maybe some of the bigger bubbles are popping and they're just making more smaller bubbles. So let's put a nose on the glass here. Yeah, smells really rich, very chocolatey. I'm getting a bit of a spicy kind of note, just kind of really faint, really deep down in the heart of this beer, like really deep in the aroma. So I mean, now, no better time than now, right? So let's take a drink. Cheers. So let's talk about the mouthfeel. It's got a heavy mouth. It's not like thick, super thick, syrupy mouthfeel. It's definitely a heavy mouthfeel, but it also has a little bit of a lightness to it as well. So it's not just a one-trick kind of thing, like super syrupy, and it's not super heavy, but it has like, when you first get it in your mouth, it has a bit of a heaviness to it, but it kind of almost thins out a little bit. And it's really, I'm salivating talking about this because of the flavors. It's a really interesting mouthfeel because, like I said, it has that heaviness to it, but it does feel very smooth. So I want to talk about the flavor here, so let's do that. So you get this nice, rich, chocolatey note. It goes down. It's very smooth. But like I said, there's that, you're getting the chocolatey note, you're getting a bit of a vanilla in there as well. But the thing that really sticks out is it has that peppery habanero flavor to it. It has that zing to it. It definitely, you can tell there are definitely habanero peppers in this, because it has that, it adds this kind of smokiness to the sweetness, and it's almost too much. Not gonna lie. I am not the biggest fan of spicier beers. Where they have like that real spicy kind of note that you get from a pepper. Like sometimes you get, there's a few breweries that I can think of, I won't name any names, but have done like jalapeno IPAs. And I can't go for that. No can do. So, because what it does is it ends up giving me heartburn. But with this, I talked that whole time I've pretty much been talking, it's been lightning. So you get that really deep, rich, chocolatey note. You get a little bit of a vanilla. You definitely get, like I said, the cocoa, the chocolate. There's even almost this cocoa note. I'm sorry, coffee note, just slightly, but that's probably more of like the roasted, barley and everything that goes into this. But then the spiciness comes through as this like kick of sweetness at first. Like, I don't know how well versed that you might be into eating hot peppers. I like hot peppers on their own, but I don't like necessarily like spicy beer. But when you bite into a pepper, like that first note that you get from a spicy pepper is sweet. It's like the sweetness of the pepper from the flesh. And then that's when I'm like still salivating. That's when that spicy note just bursts through. It's like a surprise. It's like the biggest surprise party you've ever had. And sometimes that can be good and sometimes that can be bad. So what you get out of this is you get that chocolatey note, and then the vanilla, and then this burst of this next like sugary sweetness comes through, and then that immediately like smack, you get immediately smacked with this, the capsaicin spicy habanero smoky flavor that comes through. It's really intriguing. And like I said, I'm not a huge spicy beer person, so trying this out and thinking that was going to be really sweet maybe been my downfall here, but I actually am really enjoying this. And the reason I'm enjoying it is because it has that sweetness up front, but it's not sugary sweet. It's just a nice, deep, rich, dark chocolate, almost borderline like really super bitter dark chocolate, fudgy kind of flavor in there. And then, like I said, you get that burst of this, you get like it comes and goes in a flash, this sweetness that's in there, that's underneath that chocolate, that starts to almost feel a little bit more sugary, more like vanilla comes through, and then you immediately get popped with that capsaicin, that strong, smoky, spicy, kind of peppery, habanero peppery flavor, but it's not overwhelming. Like I said, at first it was a little bit borderline. I could see some people trying this and being like, no more for me, thanks, because it's just too spicy. But the more I'm trying it and the more my palate gets used to it, the more my taste buds kind of get acclimated to having that spicy flavor, the smokiness that also comes with it is really very enjoyable. Now, do I think that I should have poured myself this big of a heaping glass? Like at the beginning, I'm pouring this big glass. I think that this would be something I would probably want to share with other people. I don't know if I'd want to sit down and drink a whole, 650 milliliters, 1 pint, and 6 fluid ounces by myself. I think this is something I might want to have like 4 people for, and we could just split it all up, so we could kind of taste that. That's what, like 22 ounces or whatever, something like that. I think I'd want to split it up between a few people, and you might have people that are like, I'm good, the spiciness is too much. But if you are willing to accept that you're going to get the spiciness out of it, but there's a smokiness in there, this other chocolate flavor that's deep, rich chocolate that's not super sweet milk chocolate, right? It's going to be more of a bitter chocolate. I think that you will, you'll find other fans that will help you be able to, drink, that would want to drink something like this. But it's a really kind of pleasing treat, but I think that you want to take this in moderation. I do enjoy it, but I don't know if this is something that I would just pour myself some big pint glass full of and just chug, because again, 10.5%, there's not really any alcohol burn. You don't pick up on that alcohol much at all. It's just got this really rich flavor. The thing that kind of, like I said, that's turning me away from being a solid recommend to anybody that likes stouts is if you are not a spicy stout kind of person or a spicy beer kind of person, like I generally am not. I don't know if this could be a full recommend because of that, but if you are adventurous, you want to try something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, a spicy Mexican chocolate style stout with a little bit more of that spice than maybe you're thinking you're going to get, then I think Mexican Cake is definitely the beer for you. All right, friends, that has been Mexican Cake from Westbrook Brewing in South Carolina. Have you had this beer? Do you like spicy style stouts? Or maybe you have a favorite Imperial Stout that I should be on the lookout for that I haven't tried yet? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell because I'm here talking about beer twice a week. 2 times, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. You might not even know about Mexican Cake if you weren't watching this video right now. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little Draft Therapy. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Cheers.